Hello, ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen. Today, I am reviewing the new Rick and Morty season that is finished. It happened so quickly. The span of 10 episodes, even if it took a break, it happened pretty quickly. So, yeah, what I just said, I am reviewing season 4 of Rick and Morty. Now, this season didn't start off really great. I would say that the first 5 episodes of the season, it had its moments, like pretty good moments, but really felt boring and unoriginal than their past efforts, like season before, like season 1 and 2, which season 1 might be my favorite season because I love all the episodes. Season 2, I don't love all the episodes because there's interdimensional cable 2, which I don't like that one. And yeah, that's the only reason. And Rick and Morty season 3 wasn't really consistent all too much. You'd go, one episode would be flat out amazing, then the next episode would just be okay average, and by the show's terms, it would technically be a bad episode. You go from, let's just say, you go from something like Tales from the Citadel, and then you go all the way to Morty's Mind Blowers, which I like Morty's Mind Blowers, but it has no candle to Tales from the Citadel, or like Vindicators 3, like right after, like, well, no, Vindicators 3, I like Vindicators 3, I didn't hate it, but, like, you had the first episode, which is a great episode, one of the best of the series, and then, like, 2 episodes later, you get something like Pickle Rick. Pickle Rick is a masterpiece, but, no, but, Season 3 was a very mixed bag, for sure. The finale wasn't good, but the finale for this season is pretty good. This season was much more consistent than season 3 ever was. Really, to be honest, because the first half was just average, okay. Second half of the season is the best material they've ever done. It's even better than my favorite season, season 1. But season 1 is my favorite season. Well, it was, because I think season 4 might be my new favorite season. Mainly due to the fact that it was very original, and it was very original. Yep. The pilot is, I agree, is one of the worst episodes of the series. It has its moments, but really it is. But it had, Brick Potion 9, that was a great episode, and it changed the boundaries for the entire season. But there have been so many changes in Rick and Morty that that it's not different. Like, that was supposed to be a big deal, like changing dimensions, but now it just happens so often that it's nothing special. But yeah, I would say that season 3 is most likely my least favorite season, and I think season 4 is better than season 3 and 2, in my opinion, only because the last 5 episodes, if the consistency of the quality went over to the last 5 episodes of season 4, this would definitely be my least favorite season of Rick and Morty, because just I liked some moments of season 4, like episode 2, where episode 2 was a very good episode. I like the the app, the dating app. I forget what it was called, but where aliens make this app, and Beth they finds a partner, and people find multiple partners in a short span of time. Like, it changes, like, and sometimes it most likely changes after you meet someone. You just meet someone. That's what it usually happens. My favorite joke is in that episode is when Beth goes into the farm and she lands on the haystack, and then she says something about her daughter, and then Beth, the farmer, but Beth says, "Where's your daughter?" And I believe that's what she said. And he said she joined ISIS. Now that was the funniest joke of the entire series, in my opinion, because young women joining ISIS. Anyway, getting off track here. And I think my least favorite episode in this entire season, it might be my least favorite episode of the entire series, is the one where it's the parody of the Oceans movies, like coming together movies. I don't know what the genre is called, but it parodies the Oceans movies, like Ocean 11, 12, 13, Oceans 8, all those dumb movies. Oceans 11 was good, Oceans 13 was fine, but we all know Oceans 12 was a black sheep. Anyway, yeah, it was a boring episode. It just Dan Harmon, he just goes on and on. He's very annoying. He's just a very annoying man. I know he hates those heist movies. That's what they're called, heist movies. Stupid brain. I saw his rant on Now You See Me Too. It's just, he mainly complained about the title. He just seems like Grandpa Simpson. He just seems like an old, tired man, just yelling at a cloud all day, and that's what his license looks like. Anyway, I'm getting off topic here. I forget the episode title names. But and the premiere of the season wasn't great either. Wasn't a good starter. The season is very complicated. The one where Morty gets a dragon, a big little dragon, and the dragon doesn't want to do much, and then Rick meets the dragon, and then they find High C Ghostbusters Slimer on the packaging of the High C. Was it? Okay, it's called the High C Ecto Cooler. That's what it is. High C Ecto Cooler. It's playing with my nostalgia. I wasn't born in 1990. I wasn't born in 84. Yeah. I wasn't born in 80. I don't know, but yeah, that shit. Let's just talk about Rick's nostalgia. Rick's nostalgia, 80s. I thought Rick was like 70 or 80, but like Rick is a nostalgia for 80s things. Well, that's just very complicated. Anyway. Anyway, episode 5, well, same thing in the dragon episodes where the dragons had like an orgy. That was weird, and Jerry is talking to the cat. The cat was just very annoying, but I will say one of the best moments of the season was in that episode where they found the cat's inner thoughts, and Jerry's just puking everywhere, and Rick is saying, "Oh my God!" Even too, he hasn't even experienced the magnitude. But episode 5, where Jerry's floating in the air. I think that's what it is. And there was that snake. Episode 5 was a very forgettable episode. The snake. I don't know what the. I should have rewatched this. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm bad. But the snake. They killed the snake anyway. Well, I'll go in more detail about the later episodes because they're still fresh in my mind. But in a nutshell, the first 5 episodes were a very mixed bag, in my opinion, just boring and unoriginal, and has no serialization much. But these next 5 episodes really do. Now, what was episode 6 called? I don't know, but what was it called? The interdimensional train. I believe that's what it was called. The serialization train. I'm sorry. This is gonna be a cut. I'm just gonna see the name of the train. It was called the story train. I'm sorry, people. I think I said it was, and the episode's called Never Ricky Morty. Awful title for that. I wouldn't expect. But basically, it's a serialized train. Yeah, I believe I'm saying that right. So the beginning of the premise of the episode is there's people that Rick has experienced with on the train, and they're just where the beginning happens is people just talking about Rick, and it just sets up such an atmosphere, and especially the train going around, just sets such an atmosphere. And then when Rick comes and Morty comes, their disguises come off. It's just, oh wow, you just wow, good job. Anyway, wow, that was a good job, Rick and Morty team. You really tried your best in this episode. And anyway, but there's just so many stories going on. Rick and Morty are making stories because they're on the story train, and one of the parts, the ending, is when the strong guy voiced by Paul Giamatti. Now, Paul Giamatti is a big known guy, okay? He's been in a lot of popular films. Now, Paul Giamatti was the strong, big Abby guy. Of course, I forget his name, but he drains the story potential in Rick and Morty, and they try their best to not give in to serialization because evil Morty, of course, the serialization plot with the Council of Ricks comes, and they're like, oh, we're gonna, and it makes me angry a little. And you can see one of the parts has Phoenix Person in it, and I love Phoenix Person. He's my favorite character. Kind of reminds me of myself. Anyway, then Jesus comes and then kills everybody, pretty much. But and then VeggieTales comes. VeggieTales. Now, when I was a baby, I really liked VeggieTales. I come from a very religious family. But anyway, that was crazy. VeggieTales and Rick and Morty. Now, I don't know who came up with this, but they're geniuses. This is probably the best moment of the season. VeggieTales and Rick and Morty. I can't believe it. It's very surprising. Anyway. So, here we go. Episode 7, I think it's called, I believe it's called Prometheus? Anyway. Rick and Morty, have these weird little alien species on them. I believe it's called All Hail Glorzo. I think it's what the aliens are called, I believe. Anyway, And then Summer is held captive as their queen because there's too many idiots. Because she has a toothpick. Anyway, a toothpick that kills the eye, that kills the Glorzo aliens. Anyway, it's not a great episode, but it's better than anything from the first half of the season. Maybe because I just got so used to not having really great episodes. Maybe I'm just a little biased to this episode, but I liked it. I thought it's probably the worst episode of these last 5, but I enjoyed it. It was fun. It was a fun little episode. I'll give it that. But good job. This episode was a fun episode. And the main objective was to get Summer, who was the queen, and Morty was their leader, really. But then, well, not their leader. I'm sorry, that was a little. But my favorite part is when Day 9/11 Pearl Harbor. Now that was a very controversial moment, I know, and I think most people are gonna unsubscribe from me for this moment. But it was very funny. I laughed very hard. It was very controversial, I know, but I'm glad they didn't go the 9/11 route, because Rick and Morty might have got canceled. But the Pearl Harbor moment, that was very appropriate, because Pearl Harbor, that was an awful movie. Yeah. Nothing about World War II. Pearl Harbor was awful. Awful movie. Did Pearl Harbor? I think Pearl Harbor's fiction. Anyway, episode 8. Now episode 8. What was episode? The vat of acid episode. Now the vat of acid episode is a psychological episode. It F's with your brain. Now, it's a fun little episode, but, it just, because, Morty, after they escape from the vat of acid and kill those little ratty guys, I didn't like them, they're evil. Anyway, has it like a video game checkpoint thing where he can save his checkpoints and redo it again, redo his, life. But the consequences is that Morty is killing all of his selves, like in I believe how it explained it, how I interpreted it was that Morty killed himself from other dimensions, other Mortys in the entire universe, but this was very wild. It was very wild stuff. Morty, he was he got a lot of hate, and because Rick pulled him from his non-dimension there. But anyway, pulled them from their non-dimension where Jimmy Carlson never died, and 9/11 didn't happen, and Rocky Road ice cream had peanut butter instead of marshmallows. A very controversial opinion. I agree with Rick about there, one of the only times. But everybody's hating on Morty, and the only way that he can escape from not getting scathed is, well, what the episode is called, escape into the vat of acid that's filled with old Mountain Dew. Now, and then all of them get away, and then they go back to their own dimension, and everything's fine. I don't need to mention Morty's girlfriend. That's not essential. And that'll never be essential again. Maybe, I don't know. But the post-credit scene. Oh, this was like a Marvel post-credit scene. It was a delight. Jimmy Carlson. Now, Jimmy Carlson put the guy that was acid-proof, Mountain Dew-proof. Let's be honest here. He can't even drink Mountain Dew Kickstart. He's that weird. But they never said that. But that's what I believe. He went into the vat of acid and he died. Funny joke, Jimmy Carlson. And the Tonight Show with Jimmy Carlson is still on. Damn right, that Jimmy Fallon guy did the blackface, and I don't like him anymore because he's a racist motherfucker. Now, here we go. Now, Jamie Foxx, now he's my favorite actor because he accepted. He's like, if Jimmy Fallon is gonna do the blackface, I'm fine with it. That's exactly what Jamie Foxx said. He's like, I'm racist to the blacks too because I am 25% white. Now, I'm not kidding. That's what Jamie Foxx said. I'm not joking here, people. I'm not joking. Anyway, so the next episode, Children of Mort. Now, I'm not gonna go in detail about this episode because it's a kind of a fillery episode. More Rick and Morty go to a planet where Rick laid, but it wasn't actually Rick. It was actually Zeus, and then Rick fights Zeus, and then Rick and Summer, and I haven't even mentioned Summer in this video. Ooh, Summer and Morty get into an intergalactic ship, where Summer thought she was smoking a bond, but she was actually out of a bond. Smoking, but she was actually smoking fuel. It was very funny, and then Morty thought how to work the ship was a video game controller, and that's how they killed frickin' Zeus. Now, Rick has considered himself as a god beforehand, but Rick has considered himself as a god beforehand, and it was very special to see him actually fight against a fake god. Not the real god, of course. The real god can't die, right? See? But this was a very special, and they raise their kids like in a factory, and they expand their factory and stuff. Mommy's vagina. Then Jerry raises the unproductives, the ones that are not accepted, and it was very funny. But it was a okay episode, I guess. Anyway. But this new episode, it's called Star-Mort Return of the Jury. Yeah, I thought this episode was going. Good. Spoiler alert: Beth was cloned after season 3, episode 9. The ABCs of Beth. Now, this is very controversial because women can't get cloned because Husky boy. Because women already don't have belly buttons. But anyway. This was a very fun episode. I like the, finally we get to see Phoenix Person's powers fighting Rick, which finally, like a close fight. This fight was even closer than him and Zeus, and you think Zeus would be a higher power. Well, I mean, I guess, but yeah, I guess. But, yeah, Phoenix Person, well, he technically didn't die because, Rick is helping him out, but, Phoenix Person, and what was the person Phoenix Person was with? I don't know. I don't want to search it up. But, this all started, really, and, Beth was a clone, of course, yeah. Beth has, the kids have 2 cool moms now, but anyway, no neglect. And Beth becomes the most wanted person in the galaxy. Now, this is surprising because Rick has always been but the Sanchez's just keep doing it again. There should be a sitcom called the Sanchez's. Repeat me, Sanchez's. Sanchez's. Yes, but anyway, this was a very fun episode. I'm just disappointed this season went very fast. It was an alright season, let's say. It had its moments. But, yeah, it was a good season. And I'm gonna give this season an A-. Well, how did you think about this season? Did you think it was great? Did you think it was bad? Do you think it was the worst season? Do you think it was the best season? Leave your comments down below. And please have a fantastic day. Goodbye, ladies and gentlemen. Bye-bye.